What's up?
Where you been, sister?
Killing presumptuous swine. Where at?
Garage.
Security camera.
Who this?
Loz Connolly.
One who just murdered his son?
Not for sure. Aidan, his son, arrives home, coked up.
Been out in lockdown with his county line crew.
Dad collars him, gives him grief. Kid throws a fit, lets fly stuff his mum's told him. Dad's dodgy past.
Big fight.
Says his son's out cold in the house.
For sure.
Says I'll sit with him when he comes round, time out and put him straight about the past.
But we got here first.
So he answers to us.
Loz Connolly's live. Link here if you want to catch up.
Shh.
Grange Hill, world's best ever TV school series. There was this guy in it, Tucker Jenkins, working class kid's folk hero, a prankster with heart, doing wrong and righting wrongs. I wasn't him. Didn't have the charisma or the courage. But me and Brent come with useful connections. I have access to a pub, and so, as we get older, a bottle of cider when needed. And Brent has his criminal brother for disco biscuit deals. We keep out of big trouble, do enough schoolwork to get by, listen to bands, but don't play that much music. Brent chases after any girl within reach, and I chase after Cassie. To begin with, Cassie keeps her head down, draws graphics and Care Bears on her notebook. But dippy, dreamy girls need protection. And she finds it in year 2, under the strong arm of the tall and terrifying Tanya Dodds and her pale shadow friend, Amy Posser. Everyone knows a Tanya. Tough with her tongue, tough with her evil eye, dare in your dead glare, tough with her fists. Life's shit for Captain Tanya. But she's going down, all guns firing, along with her shitty ship and all the crew she can muster. Tanya's been robbed of compassion. But Amy's short on identity, so she signed on as first mate and up there with Tanya on the poop deck, and Cassie makes 3. By the 5th year, Cassie's become quite a looker, in a pixie-like way. Lots of lads after her, but it's all stage managed by Tanya. Tanya gives the yays or nays now, and it's a high-status package deal for all 3, or no deal at all. Me and Brent, no chance. We're suppliers, not players. We're not great lookers either. Brent's got acne and a narrow-eyed, nervous twitch from dodging blows from his dad, and I'm what you'd call weedy, in both senses. Also, I sweat like a pig when I'm stressed. And I'm stressed about Mum. When Dad left... No. When he stopped coming home, Mum took an extra job at the co-op, doing day shifts there and nights in the pub. Everyone's friend, Mum. Her work life was her social life, and mine too. I was underage, but Mum kept an eye, and I hung out in what was then the smoke room, with all the coughing old codgers, amongst them Carl Dane. Still thought he was a star, more so in a way, for all the strongman stuff being an act. It's all a performance, he'd say. Life's tricky, so you need to get good at tricks. Life's unfair, so you need to swing the odds in your favour. There's a favoured few get it on a plate, rest of us have to sweat for it. And I bloody well sweated under them movie lights. Take 1, take 2, take 122. Yeah, the gong was a fake, but it was days of hard work, repeating and repeating to get it right. Practice and repetition. Practice makes perfect. But you need a few tricks as well. Like when I was a show boxer. Yeah. Let me give you a few tips for if you ever get into trouble. Carl died in my 3rd year at school. I remember Mum crying a lot, so they must have been close. Year after that, Mum got ill herself. It was cancer, but she kept it from me and carried on working. Made out it was the menopause. Made out it was arthritis, all sorts. Didn't tell me till my leaving year, and by then it was 1985. Like I said, the dark ages. Mum quit work, no choice now, went on benefits. Pipeline Pappy had been sending occasional maintenance, but by then the well was dry. Angry, so angry. At my dad, at the world. Mum had worked hard all her life. She tried to pack in the fags, but all that time in the pub, in the smoke room, and all those bloody adverts. I wanted her to have it. The Peter Stuyvesant king-size filter-tip lifestyle they promised. Not the shitty lung cancer they've delivered. I want to save her. And I can't. Carl was right. Life's unfair. I can see that clearly now. And I know the score. Just turned 16, so leave school, get a job, look after Mum. Work's hard to come by, mostly youth training. But the manager of the meat packing factory says he'll take me on. Midway through my last week of freedom, when I get the phone call from Cassie, says Mikey's been trying to get in touch, but we'd moved, which is true. A bungalow, so Mum doesn't have to climb stairs. Says he's performing with a band in the Red Lion pub in town on Saturday. Brent's going, and Cassie and her mates, would I come? She's heard I was leaving school early and doesn't want to lose touch. Must have been upgraded by Tanya. I can hear her ordering Amy about in the background. But Cassie has invited me, and she doesn't want to lose touch. Spend the next 3 days in a 16-year-old sweat. Thinking about Cassie. Dreaming of Cassie. Fantasizing about Cassie in excruciating detail. Got a photo of her I'd taken on an outdoor adventure trip. In dappled sunlight. In a bluebell wood. Saturday. Haircut, bath, not much fuzz to shave, but plenty of Paco Rabanne anyway. Make tea for Mum, check she's okay, last look in the mirror, then off to meet Brent on the bench outside the co-op. I bring some Bulmers from the pub, but he's already halfway up the wall on something he's got from his brother. Amphetamines, by the look. Offers me some and I say no, but then, what the hell? I swig a couple down with a gulp of cider. I need to be a social superman tonight. It's a pub I've never been in. I'm technically underage, we all are, and I need to impress Cassie. I look at Brent, and he looks at me. Makeup for lads is a new thing then, and it's given Brent a chance to plaster over his zits. I've drawn some discreet eyeliner with my mum's pencil just under one eye. But Brent's gone all out rock superstar. Inspired, I know, by his idol, Billy Idol. Oh, rebel yell, I shout, and off we go. With a rebel yell, she cried more, more, more. In the midnight hour, she cried more, more, more. Brent stops suddenly, winces, and holds his neck. There's a joke about rocking your block off on my lips, but then I see the livid bruise and fall silent. Not the first time his dad's left a mark. We sit there, listening to the distant traffic and the ka-ching of the till in the co-op. Then Brent says, "Fuck it." And I see he's crying. Then I get choked up, start crying too. Then we look at each other and Brent says, "Is my makeup running?" which sets us both laughing like idiots. Then we guzzle more cider, curse our dad and his brother, and I let rip about Mum and the meat factory and curse the whole stinking world. Then I remember that tonight is the night when I get off with Cassie and Brent pulls the girl of his rock star dreams. So, we talk about that for a while. Then Brent takes out a flyer for the gig. It's cool and arty. Black and white arty comic style. The band's name in swirly characters. Fish out of water. Around a guy who's half man, half fish. A lock of hair flopping over one eye. No doubt about it. It's Mikey. I'm jealous as shit. What happened to Crick's crickets and all for one? He didn't go off to be a good boy to please his mummy and daddy. He went off and started a band without us, and it's all about him. Ziggy played guitar well. He composes what he likes, but we know who he really is. And Brent can still pee higher than he can any day. Brent walks over to a hedge to prove it. Then we finish off the cider, buy another bottle, and the upshot is that by the time we get the bus to town and walk to the Red Lion pub, we're wound up again, nervous, and late. When we arrive, the band have set up already, but nowhere in sight. No drums, just a keyboard, 2 guitars on stands, a cello on its side, and a box. A top of the range Roland 909. Cassie's there. She's spiked and coloured her hair, next to long, tall Tanya, who's gone all fluffed up with new romantic curls and a bodice, and Amy, who's wearing so much makeup her face has become a doll-like mask. Packed out with kids, some from school, most I've never seen before. Shit. Mikey's famous. He's even got a techie with the band's name on his t-shirt, and Tanya's saved us seats right by the desk. What an honour. We get the girls' drinks, but as soon as we sit down, it's clear what it's all about. There's a party afterwards at Tanya's, and we're invited, yeah, because we're old mates of Mikey, who we're to make sure we bring along, and the band, and the techie. We're suppliers still, not players. I'm pissed off. But all is not lost. Brent's right by the board and looking at it like he wants to play with the knobs. My stool's close up to Cassie and she doesn't want to lose touch. She said so. So I start chatting. Well, talking at her nervously. About how I like her hair, about starting work. And she asks about my mum. And I get choked up again. But I tell her. And she rests her hand on mine. Then she takes it away again. And I remember to ask about her. Has she got a job? No, she's going to college to do art and design. What? Yeah, of course. Great. And she'd do the flyers and posters for Mikey. What? Didn't even know she'd been in touch with him. Dumbstruck, mouth open, no words. But I'm saved because out of the back room, here comes the band. No, Mikey. 2 girls, to be exact, 2 young women, both in Armani suits, both wearing shades. One black with a flat top, one white with short bleached hair, like a young Grace Jones and Annie Lennox. They sling their guitars. First sound I hear is a gasp of wonderment from Brent. Then they smack the strings and it's 2 minutes of terrifying musical attack. It's a mashup. Punk, post-punk, jazz and new romantic. It's like they'd raided everything going and glued it together with the driving beat of the Sisters of Mercy. Everybody's frozen in motion, drinks halfway to lips. It builds and builds, flattens into a musical wail, and then in walks Mikey, straight to the stand and starts wailing with them. This is weird. He's always had more muscle than me and Brent, but now he looks at least 2 years older. Tight black jeans and silky black shirt. Shadow like he actually shaves. Eyes like Alice Cooper. And that strand of hair hanging over his face, just like the drawing in the flyer. He sings like he's calling on God. On whoever and whatever. Moaning and wailing the words. Call to arms your infant infantry. Call to arms, what do you want of me? Bouquets of barbed wire, a vampire kiss. Then you march us like 10 soldiers into the abyss. And I wanna be brave, yes I wanna be brave. But all I see before me is an open grave, carrying our crosses up to Calvary. What is it you want of me? What is it you want of me? By the end, he's screaming it, with his hands wide, like Jesus crucified, and his two angels of death using their guitars like Kalashnikovs to riddle his body with musical bullets. The room goes wild. I just sit there, like I've had my heart torn out of me, which I have. That's my heart he's singing about. That's how I feel. But then he kind of simpers like it's been nothing, sweeps the hair away from his eye and introduces the girls. Annie Lennox is called Jazz, Grace Jones is Phoenix. They get applause, but ignore it, and launch straight into Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. Mikey, like on the album, playing cello, Jazz and Phoenix on vocals. Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? Traveled the world in the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Now they've got everybody going, and Brent has fallen in love with both of them. They follow with a bunch of covers, Phoenix and Jazz taking it in turns to lead on vocals. Cassie's transfixed. I want her to be transfixed by me. So I try to get close, rest my hand on hers, but she doesn't notice. She's watching Mikey, waiting for something. And then it comes. He takes center stage. I'm trying to get close to you. I'm inches away. Should be so easy to do, but it's misty and it's mazy, and I'm sinking fast into the sands of time, stuck in the past. Sun's going down, tide's coming in, and I'm drowning in a sea of tears, trying so hard for my voice to be heard through a hurricane of lies. No one hears a word. I shudder and I shiver, don't know where to begin. Sun's going down, tide's coming in, and I'm drowning in a sea of tears. Feel myself welling up, and I feel Cassie's hand under mine. It's like we're reaching through him, and he's staring straight at us, mournful, hugging his pain to himself, like it's more pain than we've got, and I love it, and I hate it, and love him, and hate him. Everything's churning together. Mum, Cassie. Then he does that thing with his hair again, flicks it away, flicks us away, so into himself. Then Jazz and Phoenix step forward, and I hear a roar of drunken pleasure from Brent. More covers, some electro and then some Blondie stuff. Rapture to Tanya and Brent's delight. It's getting near the interval, but Mikey has one more trick up his sleeve. More exactly, out of his sleeve. Jazz and Phoenix pick up their guitars and start on a metal-style version of The Stripper. Mikey takes centre stage, camping about, thrusting his hips. Then, as the girls riff wildly on the theme, he begins to unbutton his shirt. Tanya shrieks and stands up, as do a few others, and starts clapping along to the beat, da, 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 till the shirt's off and flung to one side. There's whoops and whistles as he flexes his muscles. A moment of quiet speculation. Then he stabs at the buckle on his belt. The kids go wild, the beat goes on, and off come the belt, the fly buttons, and the jeans. This is a well-rehearsed moment. No one calls the police because Mikey is standing there, oiled up torso but decently clad in gold shorts and Lonsdale boxing boots. The gang from Crick know who he's meant to be, but to make it clear, he picks up a thick metal bar with a ball on the end of it and poses, ready to strike an imaginary gong. This gets another cheer and laughs of recognition. Maybe this is all a joke. But Mikey doesn't smile. He spins round and turns on us, weighing the gong striker in his hands like a mace or baseball bat. Then, as the two girls strut about in trilbies, Mikey poses beefcake style as he sings, like it's a model photo shoot. I catch Brent's eye. He's embarrassed and uncomfortable. Me too. Look at me, look at me. Do you like what you see? Look at me, am I being what you want me to be? I'm wearing the muscle and the mask of a man. I'm a bearded lady dressed up as Desperate Dan. I'm the one that wants to make a big noise. I'm the rock and roll model for the boys on boys. By now, the gong striker has become a kind of metal phallus. Remember me, remember me. Cut my face out of stone. Carve my name on your tree. I am the strong one. I'm the man with the gong. The strong one. I'm the man with the gong. And this is my song. Anyone here need protecting? Anyone dying need resurrecting? Anyone hungry need feeding? Anyone full of blood need bleeding? Fake it to make it. Put on your mask and you can dictate it. He carries on like this, repeating and repeating, Iggy Pop style. And then he takes the gong striker in both hands, and with both girls fuzzboxing their guitars and the whole room on their feet clapping wildly, he bends it in half, then drops it. It's the interval. I'm trying to get close to you. I'm inches away. Should be so easy to do, but it's misty and it's mazy and I'm sinking fast into the sands of time, stuck in the past. Sun's going down, tide's coming in, and I'm drowning in a sea